Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about a specific type of video that you might have encountered. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video right now, you have most likely encountered the style of video that we're going to talk about, and that is the demonstration video. Now, a demonstration video is basically a step-by-step video tutorial showing you how to do something, right? So if you work in an office environment, if you have a workplace training program, then you've probably encountered demonstration videos in your work showing you how to perform certain tasks, most likely on a computer, right? Like step by step, how do I use a certain computer system to get a specific job done? But demonstration videos can be step-by-step tutorials for anything. It can be how to physically perform a task as well. And so if you own a computer and you have access to the internet, you've probably seen the massive rise of how-to video tutorials on our favorite YouTube, right? Like, thank goodness for YouTube. There are demonstration videos showing you how to do literally like anything you can imagine. So if you're like me, if something goes wrong in the household, if something breaks down, then first step is always to hop on YouTube and see if someone has created a video showing what the fix is. I mean, I just had this literally last week in our house. The washing machine broke down. I had a small heart attack because I have 3 kids at home, 3 pets. My husband and I, it's crazy. Like the mountains of laundry, they're always piling up. So you can imagine the moment of fear and horror and shock when I realized that the washing machine was broken. And so sometimes we get very lucky and someone out there has created a tutorial out of the kindness of their heart showing you how to fix something. And this is exactly what happened. We went on YouTube, looked. It was a very obscure fix, and it wasn't even someone who was doing this professionally for a living. It was really just some woman out of the kindness of her heart had figured out how to do it, and so she had created a little video tutorial on how to do a little hack to at least fix it for a little while, which saved us. I was able to do the laundry. I was very excited. So whether you're doing demonstration videos, again, in the workplace training environment, or for your own YouTube channel related to whatever your area of expertise is, or even just like this lovely woman who created a video out of the kindness of her heart to save us some service charges and probably on parts for a while. There is a big difference between creating a demonstration video that is really effective and actually helps someone and teaches them and walks them through the process, and a demonstration video that really isn't very helpful. So there's some things that you can do to make your demonstration videos awesome. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to give you some of our favorite tips on how you can make sure that your next demonstration video just rocks it. It's really, really good.
Okay, so the very first tip that we have for you to create demonstration videos of your own is to create a basic script. Now, this script doesn't have to be word for word, but it's just great to have an outline for you to go through when you're doing a demonstration video, because your first impulse may be to wing it, and that might cause you in your demonstration video to stop, pause, think what you're doing, maybe have a couple ums and ahs in there. And it's just great to get a script and outline so you know exactly what you're doing. If you encounter any steps or problems that you will have doing the demonstration, it sorts that out right away, because when you write down everything that you have to do, it smooths that out for you. Also, most videos, people's retention is around 2 to 3 minutes. So don't make your script like 12 pages. Try to keep it nice and short and relevant to what you're speaking on.
Yeah, ideally it should be for just one specific task. Okay, so just pick that one thing. If there's a whole bunch of stuff, then break it into multiple videos. And the one time that you would want to create a script that is word for word is if you're doing a screencast style demonstration where you're recording the steps on how to do something on a computer in some kind of a computer system. In that case, I would highly recommend that you actually script word for word and you don't stray from your script. But if it's a more casual one where you're physically showing someone how to do something, then like Mitchell said, script in advance your speaker notes that you want to go through so that you don't lose track and get distracted. And then the next thing is to know your data in advance. So this is important again, if you're demonstrating something on the computer. Okay, so if you aren't sure what you're going to select from the pick list, then or type in certain fields, then you're going to stumble on your words. So map all of that out in advance. So when you get to that step on the computer, you know exactly what you're going to type in or what you're going to pick from in certain fields.
The next step is to practice what you're going to record. So run it through a couple times before you record, just so you get the feel of what you need to press, what you're going to say. It just smooths out all those bumps so you're not ending up having to record it again and again. Just a little bit of practice really helps getting prepared for recording.
Yeah. And then get ready to record. So that we're talking about your physical recording environment. So try as much as possible to have a quiet recording environment so that you're not having loud construction and bangs. Let your colleagues know that you're going to close your door, you're recording. If you're recording from home, get the animals out of the room, all of that good stuff. Turn the printer off so that you don't have any loud noises. On your computer, if you're doing screencast style video, make sure you shut down any notifications or other tabs that aren't necessary for the recording, because those can be really distracting.
The next thing is to retest your recording setup. So it's just great to do a little test. It can only be 30 seconds of you moving your mouse around the screen and speaking into the microphone, and then going back and checking the recording, because it'll be very disappointing if you go through and record the entire video and find out, hey, the mic wasn't working or my screen wasn't recording properly. So just do a little test beforehand to make sure everything's working great before you begin recording your demonstration video.
Yeah. And the other thing is when you do hit record and you start talking, it's really good to have a little introduction to tell people what they're about to receive. Okay. So for example, if you're giving them a step-by-step process, say right at the beginning, I'm going to walk you through the 7 steps that are required to complete this process. So that mentally prepares the person for what information they're going to get out of the video.
The next thing, while you're recording, it's very important to say everything out loud. There may be steps that you just maybe assume that someone might know to do, like say like a keyboard shortcut. It's good to say, I am now going to press Control-C on my keyboard to copy this object here, for example. Or even if it's clicking on the screen that they can see, it's just very helpful to say, I'm going up to File, and then I'm clicking this button here. So they're able to follow along from hearing you speak as well as watching as well. So it's just 2 ways to conceive that information to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we know that learners can be visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. So it's important to verbally say out loud every single step, even the most minute steps. You want to say those out loud. That is very important. The next is to smile and have fun. So I say this is regardless of whether you're doing, it's video of you physically performing a task. And it's also important if you're recording a screencast style demonstration, because it automatically ups your voice's enthusiasm when you're smiling. So even when I'm recording a step-by-step tutorial on how to do something on the computer, I am smiling the whole time, and I'm actually bumping up my level of enthusiasm a lot higher than it normally is, because it's just more pleasant to listen to, right?
Also, when you're recording, especially videos on the computer, is to be a smooth operator. And what we mean by that is if you're using your mouse, don't go shaking it all over across the screen because it's very distracting to the viewer watching. When you're moving your mouse onto a button that you need to click on, just hover it over there. You don't need to be highlighting text and everything, because then the viewer can be completely lost in where the mouse is trying to find it. So just be very smooth with the mouse. Don't go swinging it across the screen. Just go nice and gradual and slow so they're able to follow easier.
Yeah. And finally, when you are pretty much finished your recording, you want to summarize. You want to wrap things up. And so how at the beginning I said, let them know what they're about to receive. It's the same. This is an adult learning principle. So before you start, you let them know what to expect. And when you're finished giving them the information, you summarize the key points again to wrap things up. And you also want to give them a call to action, right? If this is a video on your YouTube channel, you want some kind of a call to action, whether it's for them to click subscribe or share with someone else. If this is a tutorial for your workplace training, then the call to action would probably be, now go and practice this yourself. But you want to give them some kind of end your video with some kind of an indication of their next steps, what they should do now. So those are our top tips for demonstration videos. And we actually have all of these documented. If you're more of a visual person and you like to print something else and kind of have that checklist, we've created a download that you can get that gives all these tips in writing and your checklist. So you can grab that from the video description or in the comments. We'll make sure to include the link for you. So that's it for today. Thanks so much. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday for our next Facebook Live.